Just want to take that moment to make sure what Lara was posting in general chat wasn't super important. I mean, getting a new phone's kind of cool, but, like, yeah, important stuff. The IMS, International Motor Speedway F1 Road Course, is gonna be the host for race number 9 of the Formula Brash season, exclusive to Brash Sports and the Brash Sports Motor Series. This is Jim doing commentary. We're looking at Dio, who's working behind FBN in practice right now, just getting around the hairpins. Indianapolis Motor Speedway is such a legendary course, but we'll get to its history once we're into the Indy 500. For now, we're just on a road course so that we can get our hands warm with this really great speedway. Indianapolis Motor Speedway hosted the United States Grand Prix from 2000 to 2007, and had a little bit of an incident where in 2005 only 6 of the cars were actually able to start, and that's exactly what we're doing here today to recreate that traumatic event. We're only going to have 6 cars starting. Man, the throat gets worked up real easily. To recreate that traumatic event of the 2005 United States Grand Prix, we're only going to have 6 cars in this race. Dio, Narad, Briganti, Oreo, FBN, and Lucy. This is gonna be great. So let's get through qualifying, see who's gonna be able to qualify or whose tires are gonna pop.
Drivers, to your car.
FBN's gonna be your front. FBN is probably the cheapest car out there, but he's gonna be starting. This is gonna be
Drivers,
this is going
to your cars.
this is going to be some great
Drivers,
material.
to your cars.
So here we go. So here they go. Your top. Your front row is looking like Lucy with FBN at that pole. Then going back another row, it's Gotch and Hannah, and then going back another row, it's Dio and Narad. Really, really great looking race happening here. So they're just coming around the hairpins now into the speedway section of this roval, as the pace car's gonna be coming off soon. It's kind of waiting on this. I question to myself really if I wanted to start this off with 6 cars or bring out the full pack, but like during my tests, I've kind of determined that starting off this race with only the 6 cars was gonna be best for this race. So yeah, the pace car's coming off, and FBN's gonna be getting some speed soon as they come around turn. That's turn 1 of the oval, because they're going backwards around the speedway. Going right turn on our left turn. That's some real radical shit right there. FBN's coming up, just waiting for that. Checking my connection for 1 second there. Anyways, right then. Just waiting for that green flag to come up, and as they'll be gaining speed down the front stretch, waiting for it. 6 cars in this IndyCar Grand Prix. Green flag is in the air. We're not doing this because I'm dragging the joke out way too long at this point. Oh man, let's get to the real stuff, shall we? Okay. IndyCar Grand Prix. Real stuff happens. And the best part about that was that no one got to see that happen. Absolutely no one, unless if the chat isn't refreshing like it should. So, anyways, let's go on board with the winner of that absolute mess of a race, the Ditzler 300. Get on board with PPP, if he's available to get on board with. Yeah, there he is. Ditzler 300 was just such a terrible race. Oh man. So PPP just working around now. I believe he's onto the backstretch section. Yeah, he is. We're gonna go on board with PPP. See a full lap of this course, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway F1 infield road course. Pulling around the hairpins now, and then just a few more turns before it merges back on with the merges back on with the oval where they run about a fifth of the oval backwards. Here's a map of the course that will guide us through this walkthrough. So PPP pulling around turn 13, coming through here to cross the line to start this lap. Past the legendary pole and the stands. Forget exactly what those stands were called. Gonna be a sharp braking point after what is practically the longest straightaway into turn 1, entering the infield here, and then the turns just don't stop because you got one that swings back around right afterwards. Then turn 3 is a little sharp than that. Turn 4, this is a very challenging course to get a good racing line going around on. After 5, you pull into basically a hairpin for turn 6, then turn 7. Turn 7 is super sharp, but it's important to nail turn 7 because it is the longest straightaway of the course. Well, second longest straightaway. Basically one of the few straightaways. Get through turn 7 underneath the Allianz lines. You want to be braking around there to get into turn 8. Then you're into the pair of hairpins. You got a hairpin going clockwise, and then right afterwards you got a hairpin going counterclockwise. Interesting technical challenges that the FIA want to pose here, because I don't believe those hairpins are in any other layout that Motor Speedway has to host. Then turn 11, you get around through turn 12. Turn 12, which is basically flat out. You can just let the car climb up to the top. Round turn 13, also known as turn 1 on the IndyCar oval layout, and that is your full lap of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course. Frogtron so far is playing on the fastest time for practices, but in the end it's gonna merge. It's going to emerge just like your... my words are gone. It's going to... It's going to emerge just like your just like your top few are emerging. Actually, Dio is ahead of Zoom in practice times. Maybe Dio might pull off a shocker first. Well, let's get to qualifying now. And Capra's on your pole. Wow, okay. Okay, that's the first time Capra's gonna be on the pole, and then behind you've got Ori, Diavolo, Kaz, Maria, top 5. Briganti's posing up in number 6. Droid starting in the back alongside Lero. PPP, just not a good start here for him at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Gonna be in the back 25th. Really spread out qualifying that we're seeing here. Usually with Formula Brash, it's been like about maybe half a second, eighth of a second for the spread. This time it's a second. It's about a second and a quarter looking like. Narad starting in 16th, and you've got Briganti up in there in the top 10 starting at number 6. Gotta skip ahead. Do those very famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, to your cars.
In honor of the Highway Patrol's 75 years of service, gentlemen, start your engines.
Guys, let's go out there and have some fun today. Just like I said today in the meeting, you know, this is a good racetrack. It's a good place for us. I think the pit crew's ready to go. Let's go have some fun.
So your top 10 for, so your front runners for this race. You're gonna have Capra working at the front with Ori right alongside him on the front row. Maybe Ori will try to steal another pole here, maybe. Diavolo running in the second row. Diavolo has had some absolutely terrible starts, but now Diavolo and his team have some work to do. Alongside him will be Kaz. Kaz has been all of a sudden rolling around pretty well at the top. You know who else has been quite sudden? Gauge. Gauge has been pulling off some pretty good appearances. He just has to finish off a good one. Right alongside him is gonna be Mario Sweetie, who's still working at the top, the most expensive player in the BSMS fantasy game. Zoom will be working in row number 4. That's not looking very good, looking like a good place for Zoom to start, but Zoom will try to be using some good pit strategy and some good racecraft to work his way forward, and Jack Blaze is gonna be alongside him. Rob Boss and Frogtron will be your row 5. So these guys are beginning to get a bit out of line into the hairpins. What are they doing? Lucy, Dio, Sanic, Akko, Angel of Chaos, Ecto, Hanazuki, FBN, Nat, Dane. Nat's starting a little bit in the back, so that's a bit concerning. Also concerning is PPP, who's starting in the back section, along with Droid and Laro. That's not good. That's not good company to be around. When you see the Snapple car of Laro right beside you, then you know that you're not starting in a good place. That's just been Lara's ability at Formula Brash so far. And he's $1.10 on fantasy, which makes a lot of sense. These guys just pulling into the pair of hairpins now, getting ready to start 22 laps at the IMS at the IMS road course in Indianapolis Motor Speedway, at the capital of motorsports racing in Indianapolis, Indiana. How much longer is he gonna be keeping that title for? I hope it keeps the title as long as it can. So, come on, I should stop making the audio section disappear. Pace car's gonna find its entrance very soon. Once it reemerges with the IndyCar oval, there's the pace car coming out while the rest of our boys are gonna be going upwards. Getting ready for this race as we're inching our way closer and closer to the Monaco Grand Prix and the Indianapolis 500 on Formula Brash. Looking like a very good day to kick off your Sunday for the Brash Sports Motor Series. The boys are coming up to the pits now. Just gonna pass by the pits, get to that green flag, and see that thing wave high into the air. They're entering the long stretch, but it looks like a shorter stretch on this camera angle, waiting for that flag guy to give the signal. Coming by the Foster signs, pace car has been parked into a section. Green flag is in the air. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing in Indy, boys. As they come to the backstretch, this is a start that Ori would not have wanted at all. Ori losing that front row section to Diavolo and falling back to third place. Meanwhile, Capra is just running so far ahead, Diavolo behind. Ori, somewhere back there, Zoom and Jack Blaze are still side by side. They started next to each other at the beginning of the race, but they still haven't found their places. Frogtron trying to force one on the inside of the hairpin. Now going wide with Rob Boss. Jack Blaze is gonna try to leave Zoom behind. Now he's trying to make competition with Briganti. Mario's also going side by side with Kaz. Some battling going on for the top spots. Meanwhile, Ori, Diavolo, and Gotch are trying to get away here. These people are having a chance against Zoom this time. Yeah, Zoom has been off to some very terrible starts lately. Mario's gonna have Kaz take that fourth place spot, and that's one lap down of this race so far. Caution is already out. The caution flag is already flying. I don't know what happened there, but okay. So I guess somewhere there's an incident, but. Okay, so after just one lap of action, our caution flag is already out. These guys will have to be catching up with the pace car, get into the pits. It doesn't look like anyone is in pit lane right now, so I don't understand why the caution is out. It looked fairly clean, actually. Maybe we can get a few hinters from Narad, who's like running in the back all of a sudden. So yeah, there's the start. Nerad running in his home state field, so he should have home court advantage, but it doesn't seem to be popping up right now. It looks like Sanic and Shadow and Dio were going 3 wide at the beginning. Oh, FBN's causing some problems again. You know what they say in the Brash Sports Motor Series. If there's a problem, it usually involves FBN. Good stuff. Let's go slow motion with Dane here. Just try to figure out what the frick is going on here. FBN looks like he's losing some control of the wheel there. And then it seems like Dane's gonna come up, give him a bit of a push, just pushing his front wing into there. FBN was trying to do a brake check there, but Dane was not having any of it, and now both of them going into the grass. FBN getting a bit sideways. That wake up. Oh, he hits Nerad as well. Wow. Okay, FBN. Jeez. Oh. FBN taking out the home state boy with that crash. What a way to start the road course race at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This is nothing. On lap 1, we're already bringing out the safety car. Looks like Emmer got a little bit of a twist as well, and there's just Nerad getting slammed on the side. I believe FBN's got to collect Hanazuki as well. There you go, Hanazuki getting stopped at the front wing of Zoom's front. No, not Zoom's front, FBN's front. And Nerad just trying to claw his way around there, going through the dirt, going through the gravel section. This is not the way... This is a very dangerous lap 1. These guys just try to push it way too aggressively into the slow turning sections. But... man, okay, this was some stuff. Let's get a cockpit view from FBN, see what he was getting through. With a little bit of that push from Dane, he couldn't really see what hit him, and then he couldn't see what he hit afterwards. Just all he could see was Nerad getting into the gravel there. Let's also get a view here from Dane's perspective, who was running just really close there with FBN, dangerously close in fact. Gonna bump a few cars. Dane is gonna be clean to keep going with this race. Some really, really dirty stuff starting off here. Let's get one more view from Nerad. Nerad showing off how the Formula Brash vehicle can also be an off-roader. So he gets back onto the track, not able to slide into the wall. What a way to start our day off at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So the caution flag has come up, and I believe very soon we should be going into pit lane. There's your safety car, as of what we call in Formula 1. Capridge is checking up everyone going into the speedway. You crazy boy. You crazy. Man. Alright. Capra and the boys are gonna be going into the pit lane as the invisible pit people have their tire guns and have their fuel pipes ready. Or are they not gonna pit? Will they pit or will they not pit? Will they pit or will they not pit? It's only been one lap. Yeah, why was I thinking they'd pit after just one lap of action? So, a few of these guys are going to pit lane. Obviously, Nerad and FBN, they seem to have the most trouble just having to fix some repairs now. Why was I thinking they'd pit? Maybe I was getting hopeful for a moment. Pace car's gonna pull off, and we'll get this. We'll get this race restarted. Going from the rear chase cam of Capra. For this restart here, as we get into lap 4 of the IndyCar Grand Prix. I just ate lunch, and clearly my lunch is still digesting. Pace car's into it, and Capra's gonna be waiting for that green flag. The horde of angry bees inside the cars just keep on buzzing and buzzing. As if they get no break, and in fact they do get no break. Their break was that one caution. Green flag is in the air, we're back online. As you're looking towards the back, there's already a number of people thinking of a dive bomb. One of those is Maria, who went to the inside of Diavolo trying to gain some place there. Maria is still dive bombing, getting those inside lines, but Diavolo is still getting a good one. Meanwhile, Diavolo is trying to get to the inside of Ori. Those places are just gonna have to stay. However, Kaz is behind Maria thinking about something, but they'll just pull into the straight. Meanwhile, it looks like Briganti is going side by side with Zoom. Zoom is gonna have the faster car. However, get ahead of Briganti, take that 7th place spot. These cars getting straight now. Meanwhile, I think Kaz is still thinking about making a move. Maria has the second hairpin, however. Who's gonna have the faster car here? Kaz is gonna have another inside section, but Maria will have the speed advantage. Kaz overtakes Maria, and now we're gonna see Kaz in 4th place. Really close racing here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Just watching these cars come out. We finally have a clean lap, and we finally have some racing going on. Maria is still trying to work alongside Kaz, dive bombing to the inside of the turn. Still side-by-side racing. Kaz and Maria is looking to be the battle of the day. Kaz clears Maria, but it's gotta be a clearance only for now. Maria is still running a different line to Kaz, trying to put a challenge on the Verizon car. Meanwhile, behind them, Jack Blaze is gonna have a little bit of a dive bomb to handle going against Zoom. Zoom to the inside, and Zoom's gonna try to get the pass there. Coming off ahead, and it looks like Zoom has managed to speed off ahead, and Kaz meanwhile protects that position. Jack Blaze is still very close behind of Zoom. The faster cars are trying to prevail ahead, but this is just a very challenging road course with so many slow turns. Slow turns everywhere you look, except for turn 13 and the front stretch. Getting around the speedway section. Down with about to finish 6 laps. Let's take a quick little tour of your leaderboards as it stands. Capra is running in the front. Right behind him is Ori. Then you've got Diavolo. Down to the close racing sections. You've got Kaz, Maria, Zoom, Jack Blaze, Frogtron, and the pace car. No way, the pace car's now running. Frogtron, Godge, and Lucy. That's gonna be your top 10. Top 20 is looking like Sanic, Dio, Rob Boss, Echo, Shadow, and Emmer. Emmer's gonna try to work one around Shadow. This one is gonna be for Emmer's gonna lose that race automatically, and then you've got Nat, Dane, D-Dog, and PPP. Then your back section, Lavi the Ronnie, Droid, Murad, Hanazuki, Lara, FBN, and Sky. There's some really interesting racing now that I've got to the back section. There's some really interesting racing going on here. These guys just trying to salvage whatever points they can pick up so they can bring something good home to the team. Also kind of surprising to see Murad isn't running a really good car at his home track, but like, Murad hasn't been exactly the best of cars, but of all the races you expect him to do well, this should have been one of them. However, you've got the Indy 500 coming up, and Murad should be looking pretty well forward to that. Your fastest lap stats. Ori's been running the fastest lap so far, just behind a Capra, and then Zoom's number 3 for that. Dio and Kaz. No, actually it looks like to be jumping around. Zoom has the fastest lap now. Zoom with that fastest lap stat, and then right behind him is Ori, I believe. Capra in first place right now, still with a fairly slow lap. Zoom gets Maria, giving her pressure and going into the gravel section. Maria's still gonna have some speed though. Zoom is not gonna be able to clear Maria. They're still tire by tire. Now Zoom gets ahead of Maria. As I run out of breath there, this is a battle for P5, looking to be a real tight one. Mario to the inside of Zoom now. Zoom trying to clear Mario away, but Mario is still trying to add a little bit of some edge. Marius is looking a bit close back there, but Zoom looks to have secured P5 all to himself and his speedy piss. Looks like Kaz and Diavolo are still running fairly close to each other. Pit lane, I mean, these guys did not pit during the caution, so if there isn't another caution, then we should have green flag pit stops at around starting at around lap 10 or so. And from what I've seen, from what I've seen in my times of testing here, these pit stops at the IMS road course can be an absolute crapshoot. Zoom gets ahead of Maria for P5. Meanwhile, as we're going backwards a bit, these are also cars that did car things. The number 20 of Dio got a little bit of a climb. Everyone is still running it pretty well on the lead lap. Now it looks like they're running pretty single file now. It's all about keeping up that consistency. Let's go back the field where it looks like Nat and Shadow are running side by side. This is gonna be some interesting stuff. Emma is trying to hold them up as well. Dane going side by side with the Ronnie. Shadow's just trying to look for a place to fall into, but Nat still has that ideal line. Nat's gonna give better acceleration than Shadow, so Shadow just dropped 2 places to Emmer and to Nat. The Russian just bringing a little bit of that braking power into Formula Brash, just like any other series. The Ronnie D-Dog is still looking to do some work on Dane. At the same time, Lavi's thinking about doing some things with PPP. This is for the bottom section of the top 20. Ronnie to the inside of Dane, and Ronnie's going to get ahead of Dane. Is he ahead just yet, though? He has another inside line, and by this point, he will have cleared Dane, even before they get to the speedway section, entering lap 10 now. D-Dog looking to make another pass now, going to the inside of Shadow. Shadow and D-Dog just gets ahead. D-Dog is forcing his way up to the pack, but now he gets into the gravel section a bit. Now trying to get past Dane and Shadow once again, having some more inside turns, but D-Dog is just keeping it so slow here. He's not really able to get a good clearance around Dane and Shadow. D-Dog, Dane, and Shadow still the trifecta-looking race team, but doesn't really look like much. Capra's in the pits. Capra is already pulled into the pits for some reason, so the race leader now is Diavolo. I'm not sure when Capra's gonna pull off into the pits. I think the rest of these guys, however, will be thinking about a pit stop. Will be thinking about a pit stop. Diavolo's gonna lead for 1 lap here. And here comes Diavolo, just coming around into the turn, right-hand turn, the IndyCar pit lane. As we're gonna be seeing some guys pull for fresh food, fresh tires, fresh drinks, and fresh fuel, powered by Sonico and Bridgestone. Still some guys staying out. Still some guys are staying out. However, it looks like looks like the number 8 car of. Looks like the number 8 car of ACO is going to be your lead now. Now, who will be the first off of pit lane? Capra is still parked in the pits for some reason. Diavolo is looking to be the first. Now Diavolo is just brake checking Kaz, causing a bit of a problem, and now they're gonna shuffle their way off of pit lane. And it looks like there's a bit of a holdup as the pace car is causing some problems for these guys. Guys trying to get through pit lane now. Why is the pace car parked so close to the exit? These guys are trying to manage their way through, but they're going to lose so much time. Caution is out, now the pace car's off. What? So now the pace car's gonna be coming out to the road. Somewhere deep around in this racetrack, there was a caution, and now the guys who stayed out will be looking to have quite the advantage. Oh my, somewhere around this track there was a crash. I mean, there was an incident that happened. I'm not sure what it was, however, because, well, I wasn't there to see it. Let's go back to Diavolo, get that lap over again, see what might have happened there. Fast forward it a bit. Ooh, what? Yo, Ori got involved in the crash. Ori's involved this time. As Diavolo try to pull around Ori. This is I mean, so your current driver's championship leader is looking to be in some trouble now. Get a view from Cass here as these guys are gonna go 3 wide into the first turn. Cass trying to do some stuff around Diavolo. Meanwhile, Diavolo gets a bit up, got up the wheel of Ori there. That I believe will put Ori sideways. Actually, no. Looks like Ori still has control. No, Ori doesn't anymore. Ori's gonna be turned a little bit more than she should going into turn 1, and now Ori's gonna be skidding a bit. Diavolo. Gotta give Diavolo a bit of a tap there. That will also give Kaz some problems pushing Kaz into the gravel section. Get another look at Ori there. Ori with that skid, and Ori still gonna emerge ahead of them. Meanwhile, Diavolo. No, not D-Dog. Diavolo. Diavolo just off of there. Ori's still running it fine. Alongside Kaz. Kaz not quite back on the track. He'll go 3 wide with Diavolo and Zoom, but like, well, that's not gonna end well either. Kaz will just be left behind as they go side by side back there with Zoom, and yeah, that's looking like the incident that caused the caution. So Akko and the other boys who stayed out, Emmer, Nat, Droid. They're going to have an advantage. They might have an advantage going into pit road, or is it a disadvantage? I believe it's a disadvantage actually, because all the other guys have pitted. Now, but the caution is still gonna bring them out ahead. So Akko and the other guys, the other 4 people who didn't pit, they might be looking to fall back to the end of the line. Akko, Emmer, and Nat, that's looking like your gang, and Droid as well. So here comes the 4 dudes as they'll come into the pits. Looks like everyone's gonna be getting some fresh fuel, actually, or no, it looks like it was just Ori and, well, the other dudes who got into that crash. Doesn't look like anyone stayed out. We're gonna be getting everyone onto pit lane. For some real interesting action down at pit road. Capra, I think, is still in the pits for some reason. Get a better view this time with the helicopter. Capra's into the barrier! Capra went into the barrier at the end of pit road. What? So there he is after that extraneously long pit stop. What happened here? What is this I'm looking at? Come on, dude. Oh, so yeah, there's Capra after that really long pit stop, and he's just... You absolute idiot. You could have had the front all to yourself. Capra went from pole to now being a lap down, as it looks like these guys just went for some quick tires here. They're trying to get around. Ori's gonna be the first off, and then Diavolo followed by Zoom. That's gonna be your top 3. Kaz and Frogtron top 5. Top 10, Jack Blaze, Lucy, Sanic, D-Dog, I believe, and Akko. Top 10. Top 15, Droid sneaks a good one up there with a good pit stop. Then Mario right behind Nat and Emmer and... Gosh, so that's your top 15, top 20, Rob Boss, Dio, Dane. There's the Angel of Chaos speeding out, and there's PPP to round off your top 20, and then your backside, you're gonna have Lavi, FBN, Sky, Laura, the Ronnie, and Narad, who still hasn't been able to make up much. Oh, Hanazuki's gonna look like the last one, and, well, that was just dumb from Zoom. No, not Zoom, Capra. That was just some really, really dumb stuff for Capra to do. I believe that needs another look at, because how do you, what kind of person does that? Really smart move from Kepler there to get into the Siemens wall. I think that's gonna ruin, that's really gonna shake up his car there. No way is he coming back out. Meanwhile, all the other boys are back out here. Gonna fast forward this. We are more than halfway through the laps of the IndyCar Grand Prix. Stay tuned while we fast forward to wherever this pace lap ends. Pace car's gotta come off, and Ori is looking to be your start. Run with Diavolo right behind, and Zoom in third place. Zoom making a few gains, just starting outside of the top 5, now into that top 5 in the podium section. Just third place on that podium. Maybe he's gonna try to sneak a good one up from behind. Meanwhile, Ori is still your leader. After that incident seemed to have meant nothing to her. Waiting for the flag person to wave that green flag. The crowd is on their feet, and the crowd lost some weight. Green flag is in the air, and they're already going side by side. Love these controls. So yeah, come on, get back to the front, mate. Get back to that front. Okay, there we go. Front stretch, it looks like Zoom somehow got ahead of Diavolo, but we missed that. Because I really fudged that one. Meanwhile, Jack Blaze is still side by side with Lucy. Jack Blaze is looking to get ahead. Akko now going towards your back. Akko's trying to defend that 10th plate from Sanic. Sanic's gonna try to get ahead, though, with a little bit of a push from Maria and Droid. Akko trying to fall in line. He's in line for a little bit there now. Sanic's looking like a bit of the odd one, but Sanik still got clear. So I think we can get to a live section soon, but otherwise this is what your top 10 is looking like. Ori with Zoom running right behind, and Zoom looking to maybe make a good catch-up back to Ori. Diavolo, Kaz, Frogcrunch, your top 5, top 10, Jack Blaze, Lucy, D-Dog, Sanic. Sanic managed to cheese his way up into 9th place from starting outside of the top 10. Now Sanic wants to cheese another spot, trying to strip one away from D-Dog. Lap 14 here in the IndyCar Grand Prix. Sanic working alongside D-Dog. These guys are still running a pretty single file here. Let's get around to the back where some of the closer racing is going on. Just bordering the back and the top 20 is Lavi and the Ronnie. The Ronnie's trying to get out of that back section, put Lavi back in what should be his place, but Lavi's still trying to work a good one. The Ronnie's looking to get ahead. Now the Ronnie has to work around Shadow. This one is for place number 20, if I'm not mistaken. Gotta get ahead of Lavi, and Lavi will just latch on. No, sorry, the Ronnie will just latch on there for that top 20. Really interesting stuff we're looking around here. Meanwhile, is the gap between Zoom and Oregon closed? No, Ori just stretches that gap out even further. Gotta bring it back up to the front where it looks like Sanic wants to do some work again. Sanic losing a place to Akko. Now he's gonna try to take it back. These guys going into the gravel as if it's where the ideal line is placed. Wink, wink. Meanwhile, Nat is running alongside Emmer. That's gonna be a pretty good battle for whatever place they're fighting for. 13th, 13th, yes. Ackles defending pretty well from Stanek through these first turns, but how will they do on the straight, where it looks like Stanek seems to have the faster car? Nat, I believe, is ahead of Emmer here. Now Emmer's falling back. Jack Blaze wants to get ahead of him. Nat is looking to have defended that spot from Stanek. Let's go back a little bit more. Ronnie's still trying to do some work here. Otherwise, not a lot of racing going on. Nat pretty close on the back of Droid. Droid coming out of the back all of a sudden now just outside of the top 10. Droid really made a climb to get his way out of there. Back there. Gauge is having to do some work alongside Rob Boss. Entering the speedway section now. Rob Boss and Gauge. Rob Boss wants that inside, but Gauge won't give it to him. I think Gauge is still gonna emerge as the faster one in the end. In terms of fastest lap, Ori's still been running the fastest ones along with Akko and Zoom. That's your podium of fastest lap, but that's not quite your podiums for the race because Diavolo's up in the third place spot where Fuck, what am I saying? Turns out, so the chat just refreshed. I guess the chat wasn't connected there, and that's why I wasn't seeing anything else. Oh, it's been fun to commentate for no one though. Oops. Ah, well. Nat's still looking like he's gonna do some work, but cars are becoming quite single file now. Frogtron having to defend from Lucy now. Lucy trying to get that good push going into it, but I think Frogtron's gonna defend very well. These cars get very close together at the hairpins, quite obviously, because this is a hard braking section. And when you're slowing down, these cars will converge together. Are we gonna have another set of pits? Because a lot of these guys have now pitted twice. Normally, I mean, when there hasn't been a green stop pit section, then there have been some pit stops on around lap 17 or so. But a lot of these guys got both of their pit stops in. Is this going to end up being a race like condensing down their fuel now? Let's get our first on board of the day. Diavolo just looking ahead at the gap of nothingness. You know what, while we're getting our first on board of the day, you know what we should also get our first on board today of? Let's crank that stuff up, boy. It has been heartbreak for the last few races of Diavolo. Diavolo having to fall back to the pack of so many races, and now he's gonna be getting his first podium finish in a while, make himself a contender once again for that drivers' championship. One that looks like Ori wants to run away with. Ori is trying to defend that drivers' championship with all her might. But her closest challenge looking right now is Zoom. As we're in the 5 laps to go section now, basically 4.5 now that they got through the backstretch section. Ori curving around those hairpins, those challenging Foster hairpins. Zoom also running a little bit behind. this is... If the results stay as they are, then Ori will obviously still be your driver's leader, but she's gonna be stretching that lead out even further. Ori was involved in that crash at around lap 10 or so, but it looks like she's managed to stick through it, and looks like now to be running quite far away. Some other things, if the results stand as they are right now, Zoom, after a 5-point finish, will add another podium finish to his docket. Maybe not quite gonna be able to catch Ori though, because Ori's gonna be finishing first in this race. Diavolo has finished with less than 10 points in the last 3 races, finishing with a minimum 5 points in 2 of them. If he keeps his 3rd place today, then this will be a really great news for his team. Kaz is at around 6th place, and getting the finish here, getting this 4th place finish here will be like clockwork for him. Frogtron's been working around. Frogtron has had the fairly good car, but has had some really crappy finishes. But Frogtron with some good finishes looks to be keeping that momentum going so far. Lucy, Jack Blaze, Akko, and D-Dog are going side by side here. Akko wants to get ahead of D-Dog. D-Dog will have the inside for the first turn, but it looks like Akko's still gonna have some room for the second, maybe not, and actually quite not, as D-Dog will get ahead of him. Sanic gets ahead. Sanic is ahead of Maria, sweetie. Oh wait, no, he always was. I'm reading this very well. I can clearly read here. We've been live for about 47 minutes now as we're nearing 3 to go here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway at the IndyCar Grand Prix. Had some interesting stuff going on with cautions on the 1st lap and a caution on the 12th lap, but it looks like these cars have managed to stick it quite well together so far. Let's take another onboard where it looks like the most interesting stuff has been going on. Akko and D-Dog. Akko had that 2nd place finish back at Barber Motorsports Park, really cementing the Scottishman as a fairly good driver, in fact. Akko's obviously now available on Fantasy because he doesn't race in the Brash Grand National, but if he did, that really would have been some interesting stuff to add to the meet there. Right behind of D-Dog. They're just clawing their ways around now, keeping those cars consistent, not trying to get into the gravel too many times, like in those first laps that they were doing. These guys are coming up. We're gonna be near the 2 to go section. Let's take a little bit of a view for the backpack. We're now Lara's been doing some work apparently, and now trying to get around PPP. Lara pushing up there. What place even is PPP in? I cannot find my number. Where am I? I'm in 24th. Why am I in 24th? That's not good when Lara's on the inside, and Lara's gonna try to clear. PPP push his crappy place start down even further, but PPP will hold a good one up ahead. Lara to the inside now, but PPP still gonna try to keep that speed. Gonna push Lara down into the grass section. Lara loses a little bit of it. Who's in first again? It is Ori in first. What? Hold on. Where's Ori? Where did Ori go? Why Zoom in the lead now? I clearly missed something. I must have. These guys are gonna pit with 1 to go. Why would you pit there? I guess these guys didn't want to risk it on fuel. They're gonna try to get a splash of fuel maybe to keep this thing close. We're into 2 to go now, but like, man, like this is starting to look like a real fuel challenge. So we are going to have another pit stop. Will Zoom be able to keep it alive on fuel, however? Ori will pull into the pit, so will Diavolo. How long will... it's all about having those good pit stops to close out the race. Ori's gonna clear out, and Ori's gonna end up in the back. So Zoom is your new leader. Right behind him is Kaz, but Zoom, not just will Zoom be trying to rebound off of a bad finish at Trenton Motor Speedway, but I think he's gonna try to take a crown now. Get back on that podium and close the gap between himself and Ori even more now. If he's gonna try to be playing that fuel game, he's only had 2 pit stops, but those were pit stops that were very close to each other. And it seems like his fuel's gonna be suffering soon. Exiting the speedway section now, get a look at his dashboard and his fuel. If that fuel pressure meter starts to go down, then he's gonna be in quite some trouble. Is he gonna think about racing it? He's gonna think about racing it. Not even thinking about the pits. 1 to go here, with Ori and Diavolo running in the back because they had to redo their fuel. 1 to go, and if that thing's gonna start dropping, then this will be some interesting stuff to be looking into here. Zoom running about 5 seconds ahead of Kaz. This race looked to be in Ori's hands now, but because of that fuel problems, Ori and Diavolo are running in the back. Not exactly the finish that Ori would have wanted, but that pit strategy was obviously not a good one. That is not good pit strategy at all. Why would you pit on the last few? Now Zoom's coming by the orange boxes. That fuel pressure gauge has not budged a tweak. Down the backstretch section now. And that fuel is looking mighty fine there. It's been at 9 the whole time, and it doesn't look to be going down at all anywhere on this track. Now Zoom coming into the speedway. Now Zoom is coming into the speedway section. His fuel is looking all fine. There is nobody around him. And for the first time since the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, Zoom will take a win in Formula Brash at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway at the F1 road course. Your winner of the IndyCar Grand Prix is Zoom. With Frogtron running behind, I think Kaz might have run out of fuel and he had to go back a little bit. Lucy, Jack Blaze, Akko, Sanic, Maria, Nat, Droid, and Kaz took quite a hit going back. That is gonna be your top 10 section. And what happened to Kaz to fall so many places? Going through the rest of the rankings here. These guys are now just popping in the cruise mode. Here's your full standings now. Capra, starting from pole, just had enough. Angel of Chaos in the back. D-Dog in the back. Pit strategy was the story of this race. Ecto B wasn't exactly completely back. Frogtron will be snatching his first podium. I believe Lucy to also have a podium finish. Lucy with her first podium. Zoom with a win. And Zoom's gonna try to close that gap between himself and Ori at the top. Well, are we going to have a rivalry between Zoom and Ori for the Drivers' Championship? Zoom wants to clinch all two championships in the Brash Sports Motor Series, while Ori wants to get something going with a really shoddy Brash Grand National career. Let's just take one moment for a sec. See what exactly it was that happened to Kaz. There's Kaz. He's just completely dead on fuel now. But what happened to Kaz on the last lap that made him fall so many? Right? Like here he is in second place. There clearly was something that happened here that I must have missed out on because I was like fanboying on Zoom's cockpit. How's that fuel gauge looking on Kaz? It's looking completely fine. He blew 2 spots to Frogtron and Lucy. So what happened? Was the Kaz car just slowing down here? This doesn't look like the good speed. I think Jack Blaze and Akko will try to pass him up here. I think the Kaz car just ran out of juice. That's what it's looking like here. The Kaz car is just kind of running slower. Pretty slow here. Yeah, so that's what's gonna be. Good day at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Some good racing as we're Brash Sports Motor Series trying to make up for Trenton and the mess at Trenton and Nashville. Zoom is your winner, Froctron with a podium, and Lucy with her first podium of the season. Gonna save this race just so I can use it for some research as I calculate those fantasy points. Don't crash on me on the save button. Don't you hang on me, please. Waiting for it. Waiting for it. Come on. Okay, there we go. And from everyone from Brash Sports, the Formula Brash team, and the Brash Sports Motor Series, thank you and good night. It's a good season, looking like a close one.
Congratulations! 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 Quack, quack. Congratulations! 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 Congratulations!